Prince Harry shocked fans on Monday when he appeared at the screening of his new Netflix docuseries, Heart of Invictus. The 38-year-old royal stopped by an AMC theater in Chula Vista, San Diego, and spoke to the eager attendees. You guys get to see Heart of Invictus, which has been the last 2 years in the making, sooner than anybody else. So it'll be coming out on Wednesday. You guys get to watch it tonight, or at least 2 episodes, to sort of whet the appetite for the rest of it. But it's nice to be back in San Diego, Harry said as he gave a small speech, People reports. Heart of Invictus, which was produced by Harry and his wife Meghan Markle's Archewell Productions, was announced earlier this year by Netflix, and it follows a group of competitors from around the world who are all service members and have suffered life-changing injuries or illnesses as they prepare to compete at the 2020 Invictus Games held in The Hague, Netherlands. The Duke of Sussex himself also got candid about his time in the military while speaking in the docuseries, according to People. Prince Harry opened up about how he experienced a, quote, unraveling after returning from his tour of duty in Afghanistan, and how that triggered the, quote, trauma of losing his mother, Princess Diana, saying, I can only speak from my personal experience, my tour of Afghanistan in 2012, flying Apaches. Somewhere after that, there was an unraveling, and the trigger to me was actually returning from Afghanistan. But the stuff that was coming up was from 1997, from the age of 12, losing my mom at such a young age. The trauma that I had, I was never really aware of. It was never discussed. I didn't really talk about it. I suppressed it like most youngsters would have done. But then, when it all came fizzing out, I was bouncing off the walls. I was like, what is going on here? I'm now feeling everything as opposed to being numb. The British Army veteran went on to discuss what his, quote, biggest struggle was during that time of his life, adding, no one around me could really help. I didn't have that support structure, that network, or that expert advice to identify what was actually going on with me. Unfortunately, like most of us, the first time you really consider therapy is when you are lying on the floor in the fetal position, probably wishing you had dealt with some of this stuff previously, and that's what I really want to change. The docuseries hits the streaming platform on August 30th. This is the second project the Duke and Duchess of Sussex have released with the streaming giant. The couple signed their lucrative deal with Netflix in 2020, just months after they stepped down as senior royal members of the royal family. Since then, Harry and Meghan have had a strained relationship with the royal family. Prince Harry also shared private details about each member of his relatives in his memoir, Spare, which was released earlier this year. After the book hit shelves, DailyMail.com's Charlie Langston gave Access Hollywood her take on how it could impact the potential reconciliation between the Sussexes and the royals.
Hugely mixed emotions. I think anyone who has seen their name dragged through the mud by a family member in such a public forum couldn't help but feel huge amounts of hurt, betrayal, but also anger, especially because, of all people, Harry is very much aware that senior members of the royal family are bound by certain rules that prevent them from acknowledging attacks like this. Only on very, very rare occasions will the palace comment on allegations, accusations, rumors, and so on. And even when they do comment, it is a very short one-line response. When William, for example, said, we are very much not a racist family. When Buckingham Palace issued a statement about the Oprah interview saying that recollections may vary. At no point has anyone inside the palace walls been given the opportunity to defend themselves, and Harry knows this. In one of his TV interviews to publicize the book, he parrots the fact that the royal family's motto is never complain, never explain. So he knows that their hands are tied and that there is very little that they can do to defend themselves. So he is effectively shouting attacks at his brother, at Kate, at Charles, at Camilla, all of whom have metaphorical tape over their mouths. And that is the written version of kicking someone when they are down.
Right, yeah, like they literally can't defend themselves. What's the interview you just referenced, just so we know the one?
The 60 Minutes interview with Anderson Cooper, which they've aired an advanced clip of.
Okay, sounds good. And then last thing, because I know you have to go. After all of these bombshell claims, do you think that Meghan and Harry have just totally ruined their relationship with the royal family? Is there any way they could ever come back from all of this?
You know, I think the relationship between the Sussexes and the royal family was destroyed long before the book was released. I think that Meghan and Harry had reached a point of no return months ago. I think the book is just yet more evidence of why they can never be welcomed back into the royal family. What has been proven by the Sussexes time and time again is that there is no end point. We had the Oprah interview, which was, if you are going to look at it very kindly, their opportunity to tell their story. However, if you're going to look at it with a very cynical eye, when they received what is estimated to be a $100 million Netflix deal, they were happy to once again share their side of the story because they were making money. Same with Harry's book. He received a very handsome publishing deal, millions upon millions of dollars, that paid for all of the information that you are going to read in its pages. As we understand it, Meghan is going to follow suit and publish her own book, which will no doubt rehash many of the accusations and allegations that we've already heard, and who knows, it may well include further bombshells. So while the royal family may have been willing to give Harry and Meghan a certain amount of grace after the Oprah interview, at this point, how do you even begin to try and repair the relationship? Because as we've said, they can never trust that private conversations that they have with Harry and Meghan won't make it into the pages of a book, won't make it onto the screens of a Netflix documentary. The trust has been irrevocably broken, and I don't think that that is something that can ever be repaired.